Hi everybody. I haven't been doing videos on the FISA memo or Q postings because there are many smarter people than me on excellent channels doing it already. Channels like Roy Potter at Roy Potter QA, BP Earthwatch, Anti-School, Tracy Beans, Scott Anthony, Infowars, Dustin Nemos, and James Munder, just to name a few. Check out their channels for a wealth of info and research on those subjects because they are way ahead of me. What I want to do is provide my perspective and spur some thought on some reactions to news coming out. President Trump has said on more than one occasion publicly that he will never broadcast what he's doing to the enemies ahead of time. He was referring to ISIS in Syria at the moment, but a double meaning may also aim that statement directly at the deep state cabal. He's basically telling the cabal, you'll never see it coming. Broadcasting cryptic messages on the radio, TV, etc. is nothing new. Radio personalities broadcasted covert messages over the airwaves during several foreign wars, and the operatives knew exactly who to listen to for further instructions. Pretty much the same thing is going on here. In my opinion, that's what we're seeing in the mainstream Mockingbird media. I believe the deep state is using the mainstream media to coordinate their outlying cells of operatives, both foreign and domestic. It's no coincidence that every mainstream media outlet recently repeatedly used the word dark in their headlines. I'll bet it's a cryptic message to their operatives that they're going to go dark. If you think about it, it makes sense. They've had decades to get this system in place. It will not be easily uncovered. The key is figuring out who the songbirds are, what the broadcasting that are broadcasting the cryptic messages. I'm betting that the Trump team is using the deep state's own messaging system against them. It's no accident that our president actually used the word broadcast in his State of the Union speech. Let that sink in for a minute. So when we see someone we've always recognized as a patriot in the news seemingly covering for the deep state, or that is our perception, but it may not be accurate, and it might be intentional. Our first response should not be, they've been threatened, or they've turned. Watch QAnon. They are the ones teaching us how to decode the messaging. This skill set will help us read between the lines to understand both sides of the discussions. The truth is, we really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. If we knew, then so would the targets. You can't catch a perp by telling them when and where you're going to hit them, which is why deep state operatives always failed at catching the bad guys. They weren't trying to catch bad guys. They were tipping their comrades off in advance. Like in the Middle East, the media let the terrorists know what was coming so that the CIA could get in and extract their high-value leaders long before the hit on the compounds took place. President Trump is having none of that. The deep state wants to sow suspicion and doubt. And the best way to do that is to fool us into doubting our patriots and fighting with each other. Doubt can make us feel hopeless and helpless and divide us. We can feel leaderless and exposed. Don't fall for it. We're not leaderless. We are strong. And there is great hope in our strength as patriots united in the defense of our country, our people, our culture, and yes, our president. When we see Trump admin officials seemingly dragging their feet on releasing information to watchdog groups like Judicial Watch, has anyone stopped to think that perhaps the info Judicial Watch seeks is currently being used as leverage by the Trump officials behind the scenes to get info and or statements from bad actors they've already nailed unseen in the public eye? They really couldn't come out and just say that, now could they? I've noticed a distinct uptick in empty troll accounts, especially on YouTube. All of them posting similar comments designed to sow doubt and confusion. When you go to their fake channel and block them, you block them from posting not only comments on the video you're on, but any of your videos. I say believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see, and make them prove everything else. Keep stepping on trolls and continue to challenge the BS spewing for the mainstream media. Now I'd like to turn my thoughts to the Russian Su-24 shot down by rebels in Syria. Research suggests that an American-made Stinger missile was used to shoot down that jet. I would like to remind everyone that we know the CIA funds ISIS behind the back of the POTUS, And it was Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State who was running guns and weapons through Libya into ISIS's hands in Syria and Iraq before, during, and after the Benghazi incident. Many weapon stashes have been found, such as in Palmyra and Deir ez-Zor, Syria, with Made in USA stamped on them. Russia knows all of this too. Russia knows about Trump's deep state problems, and he knows Trump is not doing this to provoke Russia. The deep state will not manipulate either leader into starting World War III, especially not by toppling another elected leader of a sovereign country, Bashar al-Assad. The Syrian people spoke and re-elected Assad even a second time. And George Soros' reign of regime change is just about over. All we have left to do is bury the old SOB for his efforts to force regime change in America. Old Scrotum Face picked the wrong country to attempt another overthrow that time. We will make it out of the false flags with perpetrators in cuffs. Prep, and prep some more. Because that's just how we roll.
Because we got a job.